An all-out search is underway on Kent Island, Maryland for Robin Pope.
The ground searches never stopped. It was constant. Canine dogs, everything. Everything you could think of. People really came out. The community really got together.
A body has just washed up on shore, but it's not Robin. It's her beloved Great Dane, Bella, found dead on the rocks near the water, not far from where Robin was last seen at the home of her estranged husband, Wayne Pope.
Initially, we thought maybe the dog drowned, but we had an autopsy done by a veterinarian.
And what did that prove?
The vet basically told us that she believed that the dog died of exposure, did have a little bit of water in the windpipe. That's indicating that the dog was alive when it went in.
And then, about 2 weeks into the search, another haunting clue washes up on shore.
We were walking along the shoreline, and my girlfriend Carol found the shirt in the water. And we pulled it out, and it was her shirt.
Was there blood on it?
Mm-mm.
Her friends are sure the shirt belongs to Robin.
This was a picture of her with the shirt on that we found.
She's beautiful.
She really was.
But there is still no sign of Robin until 22 days after her disappearance, a horrific discovery and a major break in the case. As police get a 911 call from a man fishing with his daughter off of a pier on Kent Island. They have found a body.
He looked over and noticed something floating in the water and saw that it was a body over near the shoreline and called 911 right away. And of course, we thought it's going to be Robin. And of course it was.
The first thing was relief that her body was found. If they would have never found her, I mean, that would have been worse. The images that go through your mind, the gruesome images that you can't think of your mom, you know, spending 3 weeks in the water, which she must have looked like, or I would say that was probably the hardest part.
I hated getting that news. I'm sorry. But I needed it. I want the person that did this to get punished.
The body may be found, but the mystery only gets deeper and even more frustrating for the family. They get the autopsy results, but the coroner unable to explain just how Robin died.
They could have said, yes, she was hit over top of the head, she had blunt force trauma, she was stabbed, she was shot, we didn't have any of that. The only thing they could tell us is that she had water in her lungs and that she probably drowned.
Water in her lungs means that she was alive when she went into the water.
There's going to be water in their lungs because they're trying to breathe in air and they drown. You can also have a body that's been in the water for 2 or 3 weeks and water goes into the lungs because it absorbs the water. It's almost like it's a sponge.
Police don't know if Robin was pushed or held underwater, but say at least one piece of evidence indicates that she did not go in voluntarily.
She was wearing high heels. So someone that's wearing high heels, you wouldn't think that would be even anywhere close to the rocks and the pier. But for some reason, something drew her to the pier or to the rocks, and she went in that water.
And she was still wearing those shoes?
Still wearing those shoes.
When her body was pulled out?
Yes.
Anyway, Robin Pope could have committed suicide?
All indications to us that she was not having any kind of depression. I don't think she was depressed about the split between her and Wayne and her talking to her family and friends. There was no indication.
There was a lot for Robin Pope to live for.
Yes.
Police also rule out Robin's one-time love interest, her gym instructor, as a suspect, and they find no witnesses to any foul play.
It's a very quiet community. I don't even think they had any break-ins in that community.
But police say the discovery of Bella and Robin in the same area creates all sorts of scenarios about what happened, some of them involving her estranged husband, Wayne Pope.
Maybe he's walking the dog down the pier and she's running after him, and then he nudges her in or pushes her in, and then he doesn't try to save her. or if she fell, maybe she fell in on her own.
Maybe this was all a big accident.
Right, it could have been a big accident, but the reason that we can't say it's a big accident is because of the way Wayne basically told his story. And
His story's not adding
his story
up.
is just not adding up, and it's just not consistent with what happened. Somebody put the dog in the water, and I think Robin tried to save the dog. But that's all we got.
Wayne Pope is not charged with any crime in the death of Robin, but police say he remains the only person of interest in the case.
And the more I pressed him about, what he did to his wife, what happened, you can tell me, if it was an accident, it's an accident. Just tell me what happened to your wife. He said, I need to stop the interview. I need to talk to my lawyer.
Later, Queen Anne County State's Attorney Lance Richardson is relieved when Wayne agrees to take a polygraph test.
If he were specifically asked, did you kill Robin Pope? And he was able to say, no, I did not, and not indicate deception, I said, I'll allow you to present that to the public. And if you fail said polygraph, I will withhold that from the public at this time.
But things don't go quite as planned.
Did he walk through the door?
He was there. He was present in the lobby, but before they could get him hooked up and administer the test, he left. So
I bet that was so frustrating.
it was frustrating because I wanted to see where that would lead us.
And State's Attorney Chief of Staff Rob Penny says the invitation to the polygraph exam remains open.
We're not going to stop investigating. And all we need is one break. And if I were Mr. Pope, I'd provide us the information before we have to provide it to him.
That's your best advice.
Absolutely.
With that in mind, we tracked down Wayne Pope and we put the question to him.
Would you talk to us about Robin?
No, I'm at work now, and I definitely can't. And I've talked to my attorney, as we have to talk to. So
Well, do you have anything, like, what happened to her? Did you kill her?
that's silly.
All right, what are you hiding? Like, why
Why
wouldn't
wouldn't you
do
take
the
the lie detector?
polygraph? Hello?
But the story isn't over. In an almost unbelievable twist, Priscilla reveals that just 3 months before her mother's murder, her biological father was also found dead in the Chesapeake Bay, just like Robin.
What happened?
The case was closed so fast that all we know is there was a huge bruise on his head, and they found his body in the water.
Eerie coincidence? Priscilla doesn't think so. Her biological dad, Dean Hastings, had been wanting to get back together with his ex-wife, Robin.
He loved my mom till the day he died. There's still a picture of him, my mother, and I, our family photo when I was a baby, in his wallet.
Her father's death has been ruled accidental, but Priscilla now can't help but wonder if it really was an accident.
I have my questions now because my father was still talking to my mother and saying how much he loved her and always would. So, who knows? That case was closed so fast, who knows?
We talked to the police, and as of right now, they tell us they are not currently investigating any connection between the deaths of Robin Pope and Dean Hastings, just horrible coincidences. But they do ask anyone who has any information at all about Robin's case to notify them. We put that number on our website, crimewatchdaily.com.